Hello, friends. It's been a while since I've done a piece to camera, so to speak, on what's been going on in the World Cup. So we've had the end of week 4 just now, and we've got one more round of pool games coming up, starting on Thursday, and after that we're into the quarterfinals, semi-finals, and final. So things are quite well advanced, and I think we'll just take a look at the pools and see how they're going. If I can just share this screen, let's see. Yeah, there we are. So that's Pool A. We seem to have France and New Zealand pretty certain to qualify. I'm not sure if there's another game that allows Italy the chance of. I don't think they're playing this weekend, are they? Oh, yes, they are. France-Italy. Yeah. France-Italy on Friday. So subject to the result of that, I suppose, we've got fairly well advanced there. Of course, Italy is going to give it everything against a fellow Six Nations opponent. But I have a feeling that France will be too much for them. Okay, what have we got in Pool B? We've got South Africa and Ireland are in pole position, and the only thing which might change that from becoming the quarter-finalists is if Scotland somehow managed to beat Ireland, which, I mean, I'm supporting Scotland because of my ancestry. And I have to say that I really like the way the current Scottish team play. A lot of people in Japan, including the commentators, have remarked on how good their tries look, especially their slick passing and what have you. And it would be so wonderful for me if they could beat Ireland. And I think it's certainly not impossible. So let's see how it goes. Scotland Ireland is coming up. Or Ireland, Scotland, I suppose it is on Saturday. This Saturday coming, I think. So the quarterfinalists are between South Africa, Ireland, and Scotland in Pool B. Then we've got Pool C. I think Wales is already definitely through, and it's between Australia and Fiji. And Fiji are going to play Portugal this weekend. Let me see, when are they playing? On the 8th, which is Sunday. It's the last pool game, in fact. So that'll be interesting. Obviously, Portugal will be really up for that. It's their last game in this World Cup, which is their first ever World Cup. So we'll see how it goes. But I would think it's likely to be a Fiji win unless they somehow implode and make a complete mess of things. So that would mean Wales and Fiji go through as quarterfinalists. And lastly, my other horse in the race, as it were, is Japan. The other one I support because I live here and have lived here since 1988. And the Brave Blossoms, well, this one is about whether they can beat Argentina on the 8th, Sunday, which is actually, incredibly enough, at a reasonable time in Japan. I think it's 7 or 8 p.m. in the evening, which is, compared with what we've been enduring with 4 a.m. starts and what have you, is a lot better. And that will be very interesting. Obviously, in terms of rankings, it's a similar situation to Scotland playing Ireland because well, in that one, it's Ireland is number 1 in the world rankings and Scotland is 5th. But let me see. I think Argentina is 9th and Japan is now, having beaten Samoa, I think they've gone up 1. So I think they're now 12th. So this will be fascinating. And I want both my teams to do really well. Of course, I want them to win, let's be honest. So that's a summary of how things are looking. Yes, I feel that it's been a very interesting World Cup so far. I'm in a way, quite glad that Australia beat Portugal yesterday, although Portugal put up a very good fight, brave fight. I'm glad because it sort of presumably lessens the chance of Eddie Jones being fired and somehow being washed up on the shores of Japan once more, which is about the least good option that I can possibly imagine. And I don't want to go into what I think about Eddie Jones in detail, but let me say that I don't particularly like the man, and I'm not sure that he's a great coach. And I think I'll leave it at that, really. Obviously, there are people who are going to still speak up for him, and good for you, but I'm not sure that a lot of the players who've been under him would. But some will, and the present team, of course, will. You know, the present Australians will. But I think for him to somehow manage to get rid of all the really experienced players just before the World Cup was incredibly bad timing. This is Australians I'm talking about. So people like Foley and Hooper. I think a lot of Australians have been scratching their heads about that one, and you couldn't blame them for doing that. But we need a strong Australia in World Rugby. So from that point of view as well, I'd like Eddie to stay exactly where he is and prove to everyone that he can actually stick in a job and make a success of it over time. All right. So let's see what happens this weekend. I think it's going to be fascinating as usual, and I'm thoroughly enjoying most of the World Cup. So I wish you all the results that you're looking for. And of course, some of you won't get them. I may not get the ones I'm looking for. But anyway, let's enjoy round 5 of the pool games. And thank you very much. I think I'll stop there. Thanks.